Good morning. Welcome to the International English Language Teaching System conducted by Maulik English Academy. This is Tawasumafran and today our examiner. The examiner code is 80908 and the examining code is S493890. This test is divided into three parts. Before going to the main part, I want to ask you some personal questions. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. What is your name?
My name is Joelia Bint Roshan, but you can call me Joelia.
And do you study or work?
I'm a student of grade 8 in Manipur High School and College.
And where are you from?
My home district is Noakhali, but I was born and raised in Dhaka.
Sounds good. How do you pass your free time?
I try to pass my free time by being productive because I'm a student of grade 8. I have to study a lot, and if I became lazy by watching some TV shows or mobile, I'll be not able to concentrate on my studies afterwards. So I try to be active at my leisure time. I read some storybooks, or I write some random stuffs, or I draw something.
Sounds good. Let's move into the part 1. Which magazines and newspapers do you read?
I don't read lots of newspaper. I don't like to read them because I find them boring. And but my father reads some newspapers of because of his work. He reads some newspaper called Daily Star or Daily Sun or Dainik Kalo, Prathamalu. And actually, I didn't saw any magazine at my house. No one reads any magazine, but my family reads a lot of books.
What kinds of article are you most interested in?
As I say that I don't like to read newspaper, but sometimes I read from my father's collection. But I like to read the op, politic
Options section, politics sections. You
politics
most like.
sections from those newspapers because from that section I can know different countries' politics or different countries' controversy, which are very interesting. Also, I can gather some general knowledge from those newspapers.
Yeah. Have you ever read a newspaper or magazine in a foreign language?
Yes, my mother tongue is English. Uh, Sorry, my mother tongue is Bangla. But I read English newspapers. English is a foreign language for me as well, and I am learning English also, so it helps me. I read Daily Star, Daily Sun, which are written in English.
Sounds good. Do you think reading a newspaper or magazine in a foreign language is a good way to learn that language easily?
Yes, I think because learning a new language is hard, but if you try, if you can do it easily. And newspaper is a good way because from newspaper you can learn new words, new vocabularies, new sentence structures, and also you can gather knowledge at the same time. So there is a lots of things you can learn from the newspaper at a time. So it's a good way to learn new languages and gather knowledge.
Well, this is the end of the part 1 and let's move into the part 2. In this part, I'll give you a cue card and here is a cue card. You have to describe about that topic for 1 to 2 minutes and you can think about that topic. As for your help, I'm giving you a piece of paper and a pencil.
Thank you.
Your time is now stopped. Your time is up. You can start now.
Okay, me and my mother went for shopping a few days ago, and after after coming back from the shopping, we decided to go some restaurant and have a meal. So we were coming back home from the shopping place, and we were in the 60 feet and saw some restaurants, and we picked up a restaurant from there called Yellow Kitchen. There isn't any special reason to choose that restaurant, like that restaurant was viral or it was on a great topic among the um, among the
Other
and
restaurants.
among the people who lives in that area. But we just saw that and we were really hungry because we walked a lot for shopping. So we entered the restaurant. The restaurant was very cozy, small, and there wasn't any outsider noise like the traffic noise or car horns. So we took a table in a corner because my mother is a vegan, so she needs some space to be alone. So we took a corner and we sat and we ordered. There was a great menu and there was different types of foods. Like it was actually a Chinese restaurant. There was
Many
there
foods.
was different types of foods like set menus, pastas, burgers, sandwiches, and a lots of cold drink options. But we didn't took much because we just wanted something to eat. And after after a lot of discussion, we decided to take a pasta, and my mother took a seguido. We shared the food. The food was really good, and the food price wasn't too high. It was a minimum price rate, and the students of there is a school very nearby, so the students from there can come and enjoy and have some meetings and enjoy with their friends. They don't need to have a lot of cash. They can enjoy their under 500. So that's a great place to enjoy with family um, or friends.
Friends. Well, this is the end of your part two. Let's move into part three. Why do you think people go to restaurant when they want to celebrate something?
I think in my country, everyone loves to celebrate with their whole family. When I say whole family, it means a large family. In that family, there is a lot of people like grandfather, grandmother, siblings, cousins, uncle, aunts, a lot of people. So gathering that amount of people in a house is very tough because the houses in our city are good for people like four or six, but when it comes to a large amount of people, it's very tough to gather them in that house, in that place. So they try to find some restaurants which are cozy, beautiful, and have a great environment, and the food also tastes good. And there is an other thing that I will love to share, that whenever that parties happens or gathering happens in a family, the housewife or the woman of the family, the mistress of the family cooks always, which is very tough for her because she have to cook a lot of amount of food and the preparations are very big. So it's very tough for her. So it is always better for that much of gathering to go out and enjoy because you can order anything you want, all the favorite foods you want, and that's very good. And you can also take pictures. The environments are good, and sometimes in the restaurants there are low music. Besides, you can actually give time to your family members. You can sit and talk. You don't have to rush to give them food, serve, or take care of every other member. They can be like their them, and as well as they can enjoy.
Well, I appreciate your answer. Which are most popular in your country? Fast food restaurant or traditional restaurant? Why do you think that is?
I think it depends on the person who the person is talking about it. If I talk about the young generation or the teenagers like me, they will prefer always the fast food restaurants because they love to try different types of foods like different types of cuisine, Japanese, Thai, Chinese. So you can't get these foods on traditional restaurants. You have to always go any fast food restaurants or any special cuisine restaurant which serve you this food. And now, if I talk about those people who works who work out of his house, like on the office, or who works out of his house or stays out of his house for a long time, like 14, 15 hours, he will always try to find some good meal or some traditional meal for his daily meal. So he or she will go to traditional restaurants, and always the tourist who comes to visit our countries will go to eat some traditional food. So they have to go to traditional restaurants because they will not able to find these traditional foods on fast food restaurants. So it is always better to say it is always better to say that the discussion on which is better or which is famous traditional food or fast food restaurants, that depends on the person. It varies on the person, who the person is talking or who the person is want to go to eat.
Well, some people say that food in an expensive restaurant is always better than food in a cheap restaurant. Would you agree?
No, I really don't agree that food is always better on expensive restaurants, because the it depends on the restaurant environment and the restaurant's kitchen environment, and also the chefs that who is cooking. um, and also it depends on everything on the restaurant. The other day I went to a restaurant named Rave, and it was a very luxurious restaurant. The environment was great. There was a lots of natural trees and lighting, and everything was on top notch, but the food wasn't so tasty, and it was very high priced. And and so I don't think that it actually deserves the hype that it got. As I said in the part 2, that me and my mother went to a cozy cafe type restaurant where we really enjoyed our meal, and it wasn't too much expensive, the food. So so it actually depends on the restaurant or on the
Chef.
on the kitchen, on the shapes. It doesn't depends on the prices. So that doesn't mean that expensive restaurants are always better than the cheap restaurants.
Do you think that there will be a greater choice of food available in shops in the future, or will there be a list in future?
I think that in the future there is no option to be the less food choices. There will be a greater choice in the future, because in the city areas and in my country there are mostly the city areas. There's a few villages or rural areas. So everyone in the city areas is changing and trying to change their food habits.
Well,
So everyone is moving their food habits. Like before, everyone eats. Few years back, everyone loves to have rice and heavy heavy food, heavy meal on their breakfast. But now they are moving to some light food like egg, bread, or some roti or parathas, and some of the people who are really health conscious are moving to cornflakes, milk, and coffee. So everyone is changing, and everyone is trying and love to try new cuisine outside foods like Thai, Japanese, and Chinese. So the restaurants are adding new dishes day by day, and the menu is getting bigger. You know that buffet houses have always that competition between them, that the that the which buffet has more dishes and more varieties. So the food options will get bigger and bigger day by day.
What effects has modern technology had on the way food is produced?
I think modern technology has a great impact that the way food is produced, because the person who works from home, or the students who are living alone, not not finding a way to cook every day, they can order their hot and tasty meal on the apps. There is an app very famous in my country called Food Panda. They can order anytime, any moment there, and they will get their hot meal in a few minutes after ordering. So there is a great impact on technology on food producing.
How important is it for a country to be able to grow all the food it needs without importing any from other countries?
Actually, it is very important for a country to grow their own food, because if a country can't grow their own food for their population, according to their population, it is very bad for the country. For that reason, they will have to import foods from other country. If they start producing foods on their own country, the farmers won't be unemployed. They will be employed, and they would be able to maintain their own family, and they will be happy as well as. And if we meet up our food needs, we can be export the extra food to the other countries, and we will be able to get a connection to the countries, and we will also get the
Foreign currency.
foreign currency. So it is really important for a country to grow his own food as he needs, and I will say that the country should grow more food than he needs.
Well, this is the end of your part 3 and also end of your test. Thank you for having me.